aka Black Phoenix, checking in, and I wanted to talk to you about Welders Psychology. What does that mean? So basically, psychology is when you study in wisdom, knowledge of things, religion, the meaning of life, the meaning of something. And the welder's psychology is learning the difference between different materials, different rods, different processes, and how to do that specific process. So there's 4 different processes to those who don't know. When we're dealing with welding, you have stick welding. Stick welding, I would love to call the godfather of welding. Most welders don't even recognize you being a welder if you can't stick weld good. Can you stick weld? Can you do it on structural? Can you do it on pipe? You know, that's just what it is. So most people don't even recognize you if you can stick weld. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. I believe a welder is a welder, but stick welding is up here on the top. Stick welding is the grandfather. So we're gonna say stick welding is the first process. The next process would be that they introduced, I would say, is TIG welding. TIG welding is a process that actually came after stick. It came before we got to doing the wire processing. So stick welding process is actually where you're using brazing, or you using some acetylene to weld, or you're using the TIG torch to weld. So that's one of the processes. And then you have MIG welding / flux core. So MIG welding is when you're using wire with gas. It can be 90-10, it could be 100% carbon dioxide, it could be 75-25, it could be 100% argon, or 90-10 argon. It all depends on what process you are using. But those are some of the gases that's going to play into using MIG / flux core. Now, you do have flux core also without gas. Flux core without gas, you use it a lot on structural buildings, outside doing repairs, things like that. It has been tested. They work great. They do it a lot when it comes to when you don't have to carry a lot of big bottles around. So that process is known for fabrication, building things, making things, creating things, doing all the above. So all of those things you can do. Y'all gonna come in, fam. I'm just doing this video. All those things, yeah, you can go on and sign in and everything, fam. So today I actually got the class coming in, so everybody thought I was doing something special, but I just wanted to talk to y'all about that. So it's cool that they stepped in for a second. Salute, thanks for checking in. So the last process would be when we're talking about flux core and MIG welding. You know, both of those, basically it's the same thing because you got the gun, but you're using 2 different types of wire. That's pretty much it. Now, I do want to say this. If you're flux coring with gas, it's gonna look a little shinier, you know. If you're flux coring with wire, it looks more like stick welding. It can look more like, flux coring without gas, it can look more like this. Flux coring without gas. Now, when you are in the field, majority of the time, that's what they're gonna use when they're building a lot of buildings and things like that. But those are some basic knowledge you need as a welder. Like the welder philosophy is to know how to use the basic kits from your having a basic proper PPE. I actually got a mannequin here. He don't have a head right now, but we're gonna flip over, let y'all see him. He don't have a head right now, but just some of the basic PPE that you have to have pertaining to your boots and your some good jeans with no holes in them, long sleeve shirts, welding caps, clear safety glasses. Make sure you get you some clear safety glasses, your welding cap, and a welding hood. Now, when it comes to welding hoods, you don't have to break the bank. I got a pretty nice one here. This is the Lincoln 350, 3350 series, pretty much. This is the 3350 series. This was a gift someone bought for me, so shout out to them. I appreciate this gift. But this is a pretty expensive hood, but I also have those in here, the power weld hoods. They're about 50, 60 bucks, so those are very affordable. So you don't have to break the bank, just get started. The main thing is just to have all of the things that you need. So the philosophy is actually getting familiar with welding, learning about the processes, learning about the different materials, stainless steel. This is a piece of stainless. I don't have any aluminum here, but this is a piece of stainless, aluminum, titanium, different things that you can get familiar with. Depends on if you're doing pipe welding or structural welding. I have done more structural welding and carbon pipe, and I have done some stainless. I have done some aluminum structural, some fabrication, aluminum and steel, but I have done more structural steel welding on pipe and structural. So that's what I'm more familiar with steel. But I have dealt with, like I said, I've dealt with stainless and aluminum, but not a lot of those wild different alloys, which you will face them, depends on what your process is. So the main thing, the welder's philosophy is learn what you are doing. Learn the name of the rods, learn the machines, the wires. All of these things is going to help you gain a better understanding on why you should be a welder and why this machine is working a certain way, why everything is doing what it's doing. So the more you learn about the process, the better welder you'll be, fam, the better welder you'll be. So before I let y'all go, I'm going to flip this around so y'all can see a couple things. Yes. What he said, you're going to see a lot of door shield flux core in shops and a lot of stick welding in the field. Now, you will see stick welding, door shield, not door shield, but flux core without gas in the field also. I'm going to flip this camera around so y'all can see a couple things. So you need to get familiar with just having different things like the chip and hammer, knowing how to use these certain things, the MIG pliers, what these things are for, the magnet, the soapstone, knowing what these things are for. All of those are part of the philosophy. Knowing what the bends is, the face, the side, the root, just small things, but don't get overwhelmed though. And that's one thing that people tend to do. Here go my safety man, fam. A lot of people tend to get overwhelmed when you're learning this welding knowledge. As you get this new knowledge, it will be a little overwhelming at times. But just remember that you're learning something. And when you're learning something, it's just like, you being a kid. You're not going to get it from the initiation. It's going to take a couple times, some practicing. It's going to take a couple things you're going to be doing before you actually master the process. But you are going to get the process. So that's the main thing. What's up with the fam? That's the main thing is. The main thing is just to know that as long as you practice, you're going to get the process. But the philosophy of it all is to just learn more about it, have more passion, more knowledge, get more familiar with the different type of processes. So just remember, you have stick welding for those who are not familiar, stick welding, then you have MIG welding, then you have TIG welding, then you have flux core welding / MIG welding. So you got 4 different processes. Now, you also have 4 different MIG processes when it comes to short circuit, globular, pulse, and spray. So I'm going to show y'all this because a lot of people are not aware of this, but these are different processes you will face in the fabrication field. Now, this one I haven't did a lot of, but these 3 I have did a lot of. Now, I have seen it, but I have did more of these 3. It's some of the ones that I see majority of the time. So just try to get familiar with the information. That's why in here I try to wrap the walls with information. Everything up here is not just for looks. Everything can literally help you when you're diving into the field, knowing what to look for. If your welds got certain pinholes, cracks, splatter, different things that get you aware. That's the philosophy, fam. That's the philosophy. And you're going to get it over time. You know what I mean? The more you learn, the more you consume. And I would say this, YouTube is your friend. YouTube got thousands of videos. Now, some of them might not be as better as some, so you have to do some searching, but you will find some great content on YouTube pertaining to welding and gaining more of an understanding. So we're about to dive into this class. Just wanted to talk to y'all about that this rising while they was coming in, because I really think that's some information y'all need to know. Y'all be blessed, continues to prosper. We out. Hold on.